Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. Now, let's go, baby! Now, welcome back to Great Talk and Entertainment as we continue on season 3 for the new Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. This is an episode 6 review, and of course, this is a spoiler. If you have not seen this show, please pause this. Give me a thumbs up because that would definitely help. That will have YouTube send every video I make out to other people so I can have new subscribers, new likes, and definitely have more people or just a fan of Star Wars, Marvel, DC Comics, and just for any popular movie or show that's out that needs to be reviewed, they can come here, and this is the place for them. So I definitely appreciate that if you hit the thumbs up, then go watch all The Mandalorian, come back, check this out, and then you can listen to the spoiler review. So, again, you've been warned, this is a spoiler review. The episode opens up with a corn ship that's been hunted down by the Axe Wolves and the other mercenaries that split from Bo-Katan prior to this season event. The little moment between the Quarren captain and Shuggoth and the Montclair Victor's son is a strange way because just the fact that they just had like this small romantic, like quote unquote forbidden love in a way where like at the beginning it just felt like okay something's big's gonna happen and this race or species of alien type creatures from the Star Wars galaxy was going to be a big part of the plot of what's been going on for season 3 in The Mandalorian, but it does not. They do not continue it. They don't do a follow up on it to kind of like understand like what's kind of going on with all this. And I just thought that was kind of a bit strange because again we kind of rejoin with Din Djarin and Grogu and Bo-Katan as they track down her old comrades, to the independent Outer Rim world of Palazar 15, which we see two droids, all black, who kind of look like C3PO and R2D2. Sorry, I swear, my whole life that's been hard to say because of the R's and the twos and the letter D, right? It's yeah, odd. Plaza gets design is very gorgeous, and this place has a good like visual of like kind of cool CGI VVX, and the background looks amazing. It looks really fun. Like it kind of reminds me if you go to Disneyland or Disney World, there is some of their designs look so realistic, and that's how it felt. It felt like a Disney park type theme going on there, and I mean that in a good way because again, like I say, it looks gorgeous. Like looks really good, and that's something I would love to live in. Like what? Like come on. Um, we get two pop artists. Well, not two pop artists. We get a pop artist, Lizio, who plays the Duchess, and Jack Black, aka Bowser, as Captain Bombardier, who they both went through that new Republican like program to kind of uh it's kind of like forgive and forget type thing where you go through this program and then they won't treat you like a criminal or whatever. And again, this is where I felt like we were getting towards like, okay, there's more about this new Republican. But then as I see, we get a weird, strange way where, they were like, hey, we want to, talk to Axe Wolves and the other crew. And we end up getting this side quest episode and this is when I realized after uh the Duchess and uh, Captain Bombero, who made a deal, say, hey, we're having a droid problem. And the droid problem is these are the droids from the Empire. This is from Clone Wars. These droids are the ones that, you know, Dark Maul, Dark Vader, Palpatine, like, you name any the Sith Lords, any villain who works, who's associated with the dark side, basically has these droids, and now you're turning them into a like nice robot that serves, does dishes, cleans, does all the work for you basically, and it gave me that Wall-E movie feel with that because this is a place where like all the robots do all the work and they just have fun and do nothing, and it kind of gave me that Wall-E feel to it because of that. But we find out these droids are kind of going crazy because of the fact, like I said early, these were made by every dark Sith, every villain on the dark side you can imagine in the Star Wars series had, and they're going back to their old ways because they were built to do their old ways, not this way of house cleaning. And they had to find out, in which this is where again now it's becoming obvious this is going to be a side quest, but it's a side quest that only like the hardcore Star Wars fans that not just watch all the shows but read the comic books, the novelties, understand like what's going on with the Star Wars universe. And this has a lot because as they give us like a detective work of a good cop, bad cop, because we see how Din is very against droids because of the past and the history with the Mandalorians, and just how the one was trying to get Grogu from season one, or maybe season one, I would think, I forget. And we see that, so he's very like iffy. But Bo-Katan is playing the good cop, where she's kind of like, I can do this my way, and she's trying to be nice. She's trying to, you know, comprehend, and but sometimes like she doesn't know how to talk because we go meet what's his name, Commissioner Hellsgate, who's played by Christopher Lloyd. And my God, this, I was kind of hoping, and this never happened. I thought we were gonna get like a Back to the Future type feel. Like I thought we were gonna do some time traveling, like something like that, because of Christopher Lloyd in this. But no, we didn't, and we find out that after from going to different bars and going to a bar where droids have their own bar, and they drink this thing like it's like oil or things, which we find out that is causing the droids to go nuts because they have nano, and I think the word was Neptune or Neptunians on there, and they're writing writing something on their program to make them go back to their old ways. And we find out it was Commissioner's Hellsgates, and he threatened to hit the red button, which all along it wasn't the thing to deactivate them. It makes them turn evil, turn red, and it would slaughter the whole population there on that planet. And yeah, it would have been bad. But we get this explanation that Commissioner Hellsgates, still believes in democracy. He believes in the separatists and Count Dooku's ways, which is very interesting because this is a seed planter, and it leaves a lot of questions. But unfortunately, to me, this was a side quest story that if people who are just watching this but never really watched like the Clone Wars series, or read books about the Order 66 and Star Wars comic books or novels, or don't really understand what's going on, it's very confusing in a way to do this whole side quest, but then get to the part where we see Bo Katan, uh, battle Axe Wolves for the to be leader of the mercenaries of the fleet, and then you know Axe was like, "Man, you should be battling him for the dark saber," and all along at the whole episode, they don't battle each other. He just hands over because he brings up like there was a technicality that, well, I was about to die, I was about to lose, and Bo Katan saved me while I was wielding the dark saber. This is not a gift. This is me returning back with who only owns who's the right proper dark saber helmet. I'm having a hard. And Bo Katan just gets it, and I think for me, I thought, okay, this is where we're gonna see a battle. Like, they're gonna fight each other, but they did this way, and I understand why because I get the reason why because this basically season 3 is Bo Katan is the hero. She's the star. This is her season basically, and I was kind of just hoping that they would have an honorary battle and to just show that how Bo Katan it should be. Like the last time they fought was just a fluke. She's got mad skills. She's the one. She can fight, and she's equal as to Djarin and to any other Mandalorians. And just wanted to show that her ways have changed. Her heart has changed, and yeah, she is the true leader of the Mandalorians. But we just kind of got this sad friendship thing because either I always thought they were gonna hook up. I thought, okay, you know, this is his woman, his wife, his girlfriend. You know, Batman has Catwoman. You know, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, has Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, depending on what universe you want to go by. But I thought it was going to be one of those type of things, and which is most characters like that have that. Mario and Peach again, right? So I think the idea of it, and plus I think they try to make it up doing this episode by adding uh, celebrities. So like Jack Black, Christopher Lloyd, Elizio, who I'm not saying they could not be part of the Star Wars, and who said Lizio couldn't be an actor, which I'm a huge fan of her music, so this is not me hating, but I think they purposely put more star power in this film for the audience, like I said, who never watched the Clone Wars and not really planning to, which if anybody's watching this, like any Star Wars content on the Disney Plus, like, and you're having a really hard time understanding, watch the Clone Wars series. It'll explain everything, and because again, this side quest was like it was a side quest story, but it was very, very all the stuff, the dialogue, the conversations they were having was really for the hardcore fans of the Star Wars series, and I have my issues with this episode. Like, for one, like I said, Bo Katan, like, the way she got her dark saber back, I was hoping for a battle that Mandalorians do in their traditional way, and I thought, that should have been very important to do or have in this show, but they didn't. But I understand why, because of the chemistry and how much they bonded. Count Dooku, Commissioner Hellsgates was about to explain why he still believes in why Count Dooku is correct. He's right, and I wish they let him explain. I wish they gave him more dialogue to explain, because I think this was in a moment where this is something I wouldn't want to just wait and make everybody wait for the next project, the next movie. Like I think that should have been answered in this scene in this episode. But I see what they were doing. So this just shows you here that there's still people who still believe in the Empire, and they want them to strike back again. No pun intended. They want the Dark Sith. They want the Palpatine. They want the Dark Vader. They like the Kylo Ren's views, like all that, because they believe in this stuff. Like this is why Ella Kane is acting the way she's acting. Like she believes in this. Is what my Moff Gideon is still somewhere around lurking, and this is what we're getting at. Like so it makes me wonder. But here's one of my theories that I got out of it. That the theory is this. So I think Commissioner Hellgates is like represents, okay, these are the older characters, but now there's characters we haven't introduced to yet, but they're younger, because I think if you watch like the Star Wars Rise of the Jedi, or Skywalker or whatever, I forget, The Last Jedi, you see like that they're saying, okay, we got a new generation of younger characters that are young, that are going to have their own origin story. And the reason why is these characters we're seeing now are actually much older, except Grogu, because his species, like with Yoda and the other one, I forget the other one's name, so I apologize, but they age slower. So like, and that's a big challenge, because Grogu's still gonna look like Grogu right now. Like he's not gonna look like old, because of the way they age, the way they grow. They age slower than. Well, that's why Yoda lived to be that whatever how old he was. It's a big number, but he lived for a very long time, and I get it. When in Star Wars, nobody really dies. You just live it. You become the Force, literally the Force, like a ghost, basically. But it's the and if by the side note, George Lucas, you are a genius. But that's all I want to say. Um, this is just shows you that there's gonna be a new generation of younger characters who are gonna like become like who are gonna believe in this stuff, like what Palpatine's been preaching about, what the separatists, I think that's the word, believe in. And they're going to be younger, stronger. They're going to be more vicious. They're going to be the more deadly ones. Like Commissioner Hellgates, he's out. He's almost out to his deathbed. How old he's going to be, and because they just exile him to a moon, so he's just going to be there until he passes away, basically. But like characters like Ella Kane and Moff Gideon, like, yeah, they'll still be around, but they're gonna, Moff Gideon's gonna want to train a young person. That's why he wanted Grogu. But because they're telling you, okay, if you watch every Star Wars thing, content, right, in timeline order on the Disney Plus, or if you own them all, which is you're awesome. But if you watch it, you already kind of know the ending. You already know how it all gets destroyed. You already know the ending because they have the future stuff out there already. So you kind of know. You already know the big bad villain's gone. You already know that Darth Vader's gone. But so who are these next ones who are going to be the big bad villains of this thing? And it's like, if you watch like Star Wars Rebels and again Clone Wars, you'll see like Ezra, like could he turn evil? There's so much questions, but it's planting so much going on where, like, you know, maybe the Death Star will come back. Like, it's not uncanny. Like, it'll be a rebuild. It'll be a new design. Might be bigger. It might somebody else is gonna be stronger than Kylo Ren. Or Rey. It's you're gonna see it, and I just think that this is what we're getting at. So I would say, like, we're gonna have a new generation of Jedi's, a new generation of Mandalorian, a new generation of the evil Siths, and any villain you can imagine. So that's what they're trying to tell you in this. But I think with the side quest plot story was really kind of weak, and I think it kind of took that away, that distracted those seeing those Easters, because I had to watch this about 3 times to truly understand what they're trying to tease us and what to kind of look out for. Like, there's something bigger going on that's gonna set up the future, like when we get in the present time in the Star Wars timeline. So it's a lot, but I think they kind of didn't execute very correctly on this episode. So if I had to give this episode 1 out of 10, I'm gonna have to give it a 6, because again, it was just the plot of the whole thing was kind of weak. I don't mind a side quest story episodes. I really don't. I like those. Those are, very cool, and those are for the dedicated fans of that series. So I'm all about it. I just think it did not execute the way they wanted to, and I think it left people kind of disappointed and turned off by the Mandalorian. So, hopefully in the next episodes we'll justify it and make it more acceptable and tolerant, or keep people want to keep watching any Star Wars or Mandalorian series. So it's a very big hit, but again, there was some cool stuff. I like the idea that Grogu was knighted, and I really like that he's kind of growing, and it's very curious what they're gonna do with Grogu and the others. Like, it's very odd. Like, I wish they kind of did add more to this show, where it kind of like reminded you what the main plot is, the main story is, because it's like, where is Grogu going? Where is Din Djarin and Grogu going? Like, are they gonna do this what the Mandalorian is kind of inspired by, the Solo Samurai, or is he gonna stay with the Mandalorian tribe and group? It'd be Avengers up, Power Ranger up type feel. I don't know, but I really wish they had like some more explanation with that too, while having this side quest story. It's nice to see a more funny comedy side, of course, but again, that's where they kind of left me in questions too, and a lot of plot holes that I thought they should have just answered or fixed for that episode. But again, it's great. I'm gonna keep watching this, and I'm always gonna love Star Wars fans. So, and the Star Wars series, of course. So I'm about this. It was great. So that's my review. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment Official Channel. Thank you, and peace